Yo, what is up, guys? XRP is at $1.39 right now on CoinMarketCap. He actually did it. The Clarity Act is done, and what happens to XRP in the next 30 days is going to shock you. Don't click off. Our first tweet comes from Brad Garlinghouse. Even when our backs were against the wall, we refused to fold. Always great to be back for XRP Las Vegas, and even better to see XRP up in the lights. Our next tweet comes from the Crypto Squire. If you like this video, like, plus retweet if you're part of the XRP movement. Real quick, if you want to stay ahead of every XRP catalyst before the mainstream catches on, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell, and drop your XRP price prediction in the comments. I read every single one and pin the best ones. The bigger this comment section gets, the more YouTube pushes this video to other XRP holders who need to see it. Let's get this to 10,000 comments. Now back to the breakdown. Our next tweet comes from Crypto King 34. President Trump said, "When the Clarity Act comes to my desk, I will sign it. I'll make the US the crypto capital, pass the law quickly." Retweet if you support the Clarity Act. Let's discuss in the comments what will happen when the law passes. Our next tweet comes from Ripple XRP. The shift is happening. The UAE and South Korea have just signed the first economic partnership agreement. Tariffs cut out or eliminate on 91.2% of goods. Trade flow is expected to double. Direct boost to energy industry and supply chains that occurred just a few hours after the announcement that the UAE had exited OPEC to increase its own production. Let's watch this video. What do you guys think about that video? Comment down below. Our next tweet comes from Crypto Barbie. Just in, Ripple partner SBI Holdings plans to acquire BitBank Exchange, the third largest exchange in Japan. XRP Japan. Our next tweet comes from Crypto Barbie. Japan's Rakuten now enables its 44 million users to convert rewards into XRP. David Jevons from Rakuten has already confirmed back in December 2019. In Japan, almost every bank is starting to work with something called XRP. You may know it as Ripple. Let's watch this video.
So there's over 1,600 cryptocurrencies today that use blockchain. So all of us have probably heard about Bitcoin, some of us about Ethereum. In Japan, almost every bank is starting to work with something called XRP, or you may know it as Ripple. And there's many others.
What do you guys think about that video? Comment down below. Our next tweet comes from Crypto Barbie. XRP BRICS. BRICS to push for intra-currency payments as immunity against Western clout. India's central bank's plan proposes BRICS allow cross-border transactions in local currencies. Ripple's Ashish Birla confirmed we have a probably 50% of the market in India. Our next tweet comes from SmokeDQG. Ripple Treasury CEO explains why Ripple is an ideal long-term home for G Treasury. These are the reasons why G Treasury choose Ripple over the other fintech companies to acquire them. Enterprise-grade blockchain XRPL, institutional-grade custody Ripple Custody, prime brokerage Ripple Prime via Hidden Road acquisition, payments ISO 20022 compliance, 90% plus of FX market, 75 plus global licenses, 90 billion on Ripple's balance sheet, directly from Ripple Treasury webinar. Listen closely.
So first, Ripple, maybe I'll take a step back and talk a little bit about the acquisition and why I thought this was a great partnership and a great long-term home for G Treasury. For those of you tracking G Treasury over the last 10 years, we've obviously had lots of acquisitions that we've done ourselves, and we've had many different investors into the business. So as it came time to think about a strategic acquisition, a long-term home, obviously there were a lot of people in the blockchain technology and the fintech world that were interested in G Treasury. Why was Ripple the place that I thought was a great long-term home? First of all, I think the capital structure of Ripple allows us to invest in an incredible way. So we'll talk a little bit about G Treasury, but Ripple has 90 billion on the balance sheet with no debt, and that frees yourself to think about a 10-year horizon. And Ripple does that across their organization, and I think that permeates across everything they do, and that's a great partnership for us as we think about Ripple Treasury and what we'll be able to do. The second is more foundational. As we looked at the disruption that's happening in digital assets, we wanted to find someone who was looking at enterprise technology. There's a lot happening here, a lot of innovation. And one of the things that was important to me are how are we going to find a home where the buyer of G Treasury is focused on the enterprise and has that constantly in mind. And everything that Ripple does is enterprise grade. That's both the technology themselves, the blockchain that underlies everything at Ripple is enterprise focused. That means security, that means regulatory items. And they have all the pieces to be able to put all this together for the G Treasury clients. The second is what they've done from an acquisition perspective means not just acquiring G Treasury, but they bought Hidden Road, which is now Prime Broker. They obviously have an incredible focus on FX payments, which has so much friction in it across the world. And I think that focus is something that we will be able to take advantage of. And finally, their global licenses. I was really impressed on how they're attacking one of the really challenging parts in the financial environment, which is making sure they are licensed in all the places they need to go do. So, and then the final piece, which I think you'll hear me talk about, is this 10-year view, right? So as we thought about this, we wanted to make sure we were going to a partner and a final home that would not drive and force adoption of anything our clients didn't want to do, but yet do two things for us: invest into the entire platform capability support of G Treasury, but also
What do you guys think about that video? Comment down below. Our next tweet comes from Smoke DQG. Yes, the stablecoin yield ban will be beneficial for payment-focused stablecoins like RLUSD, documented. Our next tweet comes from Crypto Barbie. Senator Cynthia Loomis says we are going to mark up the Clarity Act in May. This month will be big. Let's watch this video.
Opportunity to craft legislation in Washington. We are going to mark up the Clarity Act in May. We are going to get it to the finish line. We are going to have the market structure that allows us to innovate, you to innovate, America to lead the world on this freedom asset. God bless you. Thank you very much for the privilege of serving you in Washington, D.C.
What do you guys think about that video? Comment down below. Like and subscribe.